Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Elenita, and right now we are going to visit top place number 1 in Moscow, which is Red Square. So we are going through the gates which lead us to Red Square. We are right in the center of Red Square, and this square is the biggest square and the most famous square in Moscow. The name Red means beautiful. So people in the olden times called it Beautiful Square. It has nothing to do with the color of communism. The square itself dates back to the end of the 15th century. So that's the time when it appeared here. And the name of the square changed several times. It was known as Trading Square because in the olden times a lot of trade happened here at this square. But then it got its present name, which is Red. And in the old Russian language, red meant beautiful, so people called it Beautiful Square. So this square was used for different kinds of activities. Merchants came from different parts of the country to trade here, and czars, criers announced edicts to the public exactly from this square. After the revolution of 1917, the square became used for parades and demonstrations. And yes, it continued to be the most important square of the city of Moscow and of the country. And here we can see the most impressive piece of architecture at this square, which is St. Basil's Cathedral. It's straight ahead. It's the Orthodox Church, which dates back to the 16th century. The wall of the Kremlin is right in front of you, and that's the wall of the fortress, which was built in the 15th century. Then what else can we see from this square? The Museum of History, that's the red brick building, straight, and that's the biggest museum which is dedicated to the Russian history. And definitely the long and very interesting building of beige color is the building of the GUM department store, which is the main store here at the square. You can now see the facade of this building. Well, nowadays the square is used for some celebrations. Parade happens here on the 9th of May, victory at the end of the war with Nazi Germany. And the square looks really special at Christmas time, because here we have a skating ring, so people come to do ice skating, and Christmas markets are arranged, and people can buy different kind of food, enjoy the special atmosphere with the lights on, and participate in various master classes and workshops. Top place number 2 in Moscow is this one, which is known as Sparrow Hills, or in the Russian language, Vorobyovy Gory. That's the name of this locality, and you can come here by metro or by car, and you can enjoy a lovely walk along the embankment of the Moscow River and take a cable car ride, which is just very impressive. So now you can get an idea about this place. So that's the main river of the city of Moscow, known as the Moscow River. You can see some ships moving along the river. In the distance, a stadium, that's a soccer stadium, where the FIFA World Cup matches were held. And a cableway. Yeah, that's really marvelous that you can do that in this part of the city of Moscow. It's really enjoyable and fun. I'm about to take a cable car, and the ticket cost me $3 American, but the price depends on the day of the week. Here am I in a cable car, so we are starting to move, and the ride will last about 10 minutes. Top place number 3 in Moscow is the Moscow Kremlin. And right now we are inside the Kremlin. The word the Kremlin means the fortress. And that's the place from which the city of Moscow started long time ago in the 12th century. Its monumental walls and towers, golden domed cathedrals, and ancient palaces stand high on the Borovitsky Hill above the Moscow River. The Kremlin was the place where Russian princes and czars lived, but today it's the official residence of the President of Russia. At the beginning of the 18th century, the capital was moved to St. Petersburg, and the Kremlin ceased to be the residence of the Russian czars. After the revolution of 1917, the Bolsheviks transferred the capital to Moscow and settled on the grounds of the Kremlin. Lenin, Stalin, and some members of the Soviet government lived here. Since then, the word Kremlin is associated with the government of Russia. So what can you visit if you go inside? Well, you can see the Kremlin grounds with its really impressive cathedrals. You can visit the Museum of the Armory Chamber, which has a unique collection based on the royal treasury. You can also take a look at the Diamond Fund, where the collection of diamonds is kept. But you need different entrance tickets to visit these museums. And right now I'm on the grounds of the Kremlin, so I'm going to take you to Cathedral Square, and we'll take a look at really old and unique cathedrals of the Moscow Kremlin. We are at Cathedral Square, the oldest and most famous square of the Kremlin. It's called Cathedral Square because here you can see several Russian Orthodox churches. We call them cathedrals. Each church had its own function. Take a look. This is the bell tower, the tallest structure on the grounds of the Kremlin. Its height is 81 meters. Then you can also get a view of another church which is situated at Cathedral Square. So why so many churches are here? In fact, every church had its own function. One of the churches was used for coronations. Then the second one was used as a burial place. There was also a church which was used as a home chapel by Moscow princes and Russian czars. Also, From here, from Cathedral Square, it's possible to see the Kremlin Palace and some other structures where the Russian czars lived in the olden times. The biggest bell of Russia and the biggest cannon of Russia are also situated on the grounds of the Kremlin. And now you can see this bell, which weighs about 200 tons. That's the biggest cannon of Russia, which is called Tsar cannon. And as well as the Tsar bell, it's located here on the grounds of the Kremlin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, you are welcome to put your thumb up and subscribe to my channel. There will be one more video dedicated to top places in the city of Moscow. It will be called Top Places in the City of Moscow, Part 2. Thank you for your attention and see you next time.